Good evening, student. Let's wait for 5 minutes and then we will start with the class, okay? Till then, please mute yourself and don't turn on your cameras.
Good evening, everyone. Hello, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening, everybody. How are we today?
Good evening, ma'am.
Good
Fine,
evening.
fine.
Good evening. Students, can you all please confirm your attendance in the chat box? Just write
Good
present.
evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Good evening. Just write present in the chat box.
Hello. Online class. A class पर Treecampus. हाँ वो हाँ भाई लिखे
Mehra, student, please turn off your mic. Sudham, please turn off your mic. Sudha, Mehra, don't turn on your camera. And please mute yourself. Sudham, please mute yourself. Sudham. Thank you. Rest of the student, please confirm your attendance in the chat box, right present. Everybody confirm their attendance. I can see very like 4 to 5 people responding to my messages. Students, please write present. Okay. Simran asked me yesterday, I'm not attend. The sentence is wrong. The class please return. So yesterday we talked about, what did we talk about?
Little
Questions.
like me.
Oh, no. We talked about questions in English. So Simran, we talked about how we can ask questions in English. And today is okay. I'll brief you up how what we will be learning about today. Okay. Let me see who is present in my class. I can see very few people, so it's okay. Okay, students. Good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. My name is Sumedha. Some of you might know me, some of you don't. I am your English tutor and I am assigned you to teach you English at 5 p.m. regularly. This platform is brought to you by Treecampus. It's a free online platform where you can learn anything and everything. Also, there are 3 classes that took place throughout the day. The very first one is 1 p.m. class where you are able to learn Bengali, and the 5 p.m. and 9 p.m. classes are for English classes. And technically, if you are attending my class, you're not allowed to attend any other class throughout the day. So every individual is allowed to attend only one class. So kindly choose wisely to with whom you want to learn, what subject do you want to learn, and it will be better. Also, please keep a note of this that you're not allowed to turn on your camera or mic. I can see students like Sudham, Vivek, these and Deepika Javar. These are I feel these are new students in my class. So student, please behave a little bit and do not open your cameras or mics unless and until I ask you. And just like Sudham, you're not allowed to turn on your camera. Please don't do it. Sudham, okay. And for the rest of the students, I hope they are well versed with this rule. If you want to, you know, if you have any other questions and you want to interrupt the class, you can raise your hand or you can react so that we could have this little bit of confirmation that you're able to understand what I am teaching you and, you know, you get me simply. So, without wasting any time, is there anybody who can tell me what is the topic for today?
And what?
Deepika,
where you hold what where when
no,
Phonics, about phonics.
I am
phonics. Yeah,
asking,
ma'am, phonics.
yes, today is a special class and we are talking about phonics, right? So, um, let's start with the today's class. It's just, yeah, Deepti, are you able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes.
Okay, just unmute yourself for a second and I will be sharing my screen. So just confirm if you are able to see it. Give me a second. Yes, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes. Now,
Okay.
your screen. Yeah. What is phonics? Yes.
What is phonics? And let me just check the chat box for once. Okay, before moving forward, let me have anybody who can explain or just give me a brief what we learned yesterday. Is there anyone? Please raise your hand. Okay, we have Sonia. Sonia, please, would you like to explain it?
Yesterday uh, I like and dislike.
Mm-hmm. Wrong. We didn't talked about um this. Is there anyone who would love to correct? And Vivek Yadav, I was able to see it. Please, student, don't do this. Simran, do you know or do you remember what we did yesterday?
I'm not attend class yesterday.
Okay, is there anyone else?
And can I read? Only read.
No. We will start with this topic. It just I want somebody to have to just brief the class what we did yesterday. Sibha. Sibha, were you present yesterday?
Yes, ma'am. Yesterday I joined at 5:30 o'clock, and in that time we are discussing about WHOR, making sentence with who or where or why. Uh, we try to make sentence with WH words, WH question.
Okay. Uh, okay. I can accept that answer. Let's, okay. Just lower your hand, everybody. For everyone who didn't remember, we talked about how we can ask questions in English, and we used words, question words, basically, which were what, when, how, um, like that. And for asking question, it's important that we use these question words, and we were able to produce some questions, and that was all about yesterday's class. However, for today, we are learning about phonics. So yesterday we talked about that I will be taking this phonics class, and this class is all about just to clear your pronunciation. Okay, this is one of the step or one of the effort that we as a teacher I could take for you in order to make sure that you are able to pronounce English words correctly. So basically, what are phonics? Phonics helps you learn how to say English words by understanding the sounds of each letter. Everybody who doesn't have attention over here, please divert, leave everything, and please listen to this, because this is a topic which is easy, but it have few details in it, so it can be tough for some students. Please focus on this. Phonics are nothing, but it's a it's a thing where you can learn about English words by understanding the sounds of each letters. In English, we have alphabets, we have letters, right? Now that every letter have its own sounds. So we will be learning about how every letter in the alphabet have a sound. Is it clear? I want everybody to react, okay? So please give a thumbs up. You can say yes. Okay. Nice, nice. When we put the letter together, we can read and we can say the words. Okay. So imagine if you want to say or you want to pronounce the word cat. There are 3 letters. Every letter in the word cat, which is C, A, and T, all these letters have their own sounds. So if technically somebody lacks in this leadership of, pronunciation, he or she is, he or she can put the sounds of these letters together in order to read it. For example, cat. So C have ca, A have A, and T have T. So it's cat. Okay. Second slide. How English is different from Hindi. So English has some sounds that are not used in Hindi. Okay, this is not specifically for Hindi. It's almost for every other language. If you, for example, I took French in my, from 5th through 10th. And if you talk about any language on this earth, you will find that some of the sounds are not in one or the other language. Similarly, when we talk about English, English is different from Hindi because you cannot find certain sounds in Hindi. And what are these sounds that you cannot found in Hindi, found in English language? Is when Hindi speakers may found sounds like V or Z, right? And TH, difficult. For example, you might have seen people saying or pronouncing the word zoo as Jew. So that Z sound isn't in English vocabulary. That's why it is a bit tricky for native Hindi speakers to pronounce the word starting with Z. Because that Z word in English have a different sound as Z. Okay. Now, if we take another example, we can also take an example of van. Okay. In Hindi, we also don't have sounds for V. So if we have to pronounce a word which is starting from a letter V, let's example van or vanish or voyage. Voyage is basically a French word, but you can still use it in the English language. These are often difficult to pronounce by Hindi native speakers because their sounds are not properly embedded in the English language. So that's why you might have seen people saying the word van as a van because there is no sounds in Hindi. So if a Hindi speaker is trying to correlate that language with correlate sounds of the letters that are present in the Hindi with the sounds of the letters which are present in the English, there might have been things which cannot go align, right? For example, if we talk about siblings, let's say both the parents of two siblings, if for example me and my brother, if I have a dad and mom, he also have the same dad and mom. Our blood, we are siblings, but we are not identicals, which means that what I can speak, what I can say is all he or she is also capable of. However, there will be some things that will be different for us. Okay? Please react, student. Give a thumbs up if you are able to understand. If you're not, just interrupt me. Okay. Now we will be moving on to the A, Z letter sounds. Just now we talked that how every letter in the alphabet have its own sound. Now we will be learning about one of their prominent sounds. For example, look at the slide very carefully. A have A as in apple. For example, when we pronounce the word apple, so it's the A word have a. The sound is a. Similarly, B, when we pronounce a word like ball, it has B, a literal language sound of B. Similarly, when we are pronouncing C, or let's say we pronounce a word starting with the letter C, it is K, cat. D, as in we are pronouncing the word dog, is legit D. E is E as in elephant, and F is F as in fish. Y is pronounced as J in English. For example, if we have to say a word starting from the letter Y, we can say yacht, or yacht, or we can say york, or we can say yarn, right? So these have a prominent sound, and the Y sounds are, it's va. Okay. When we talk about Z as in zebra, then the Z sound is Z. Z. Okay. Also, you can also see when you pronounce a different word starting with Z, for example, zoology, then you can see it is zoo, like Z. So these sounds are very important for you to understand. Now we have some magic vowels. Okay. For example, everybody knows what are vowels. Vowels are A, E, I, O, and U. Yes, Simran?
Ma'am, vowels is A, E, I, O, U. Yes.
Yes. These vowels also have their short and long sounds. Okay? Okay, how do we say it? Just like I took this example of me and my siblings, right? We share the same parents. We almost have the same, almost not the same, blood. But we are also very different, right? Similarly, when we talk about vowels, vowels have very different sounds, meaning a single vowel can have short sounds and long sounds. Okay? When I am talking about short sounds, it's like the word, when you're using those letters, those sounds that you're making takes very less time of yours. Similarly, if you're using that alphabet, there could be chances when you're using those vowels, or when you're using those letters, their sounds can be long sounds, meaning they will be taking a little bit longer time of yours. Let's see. A short vowel can be A for apple. So it's apple. On the other hand, if we take long sounds like cake, so can you see apple and cake? A, it's a long vowel sound. And when we are talking about the short vowel apple, it's apple. When we are talking about cake, it's cake, egg. Can you see that stretch in the vowel sound? Are you all able to understand this? Dayavati, Deepika, Deepti, are you all
Yes,
get
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm
Yes,
getting.
ma'am. Yes.
okay? Or is it like coming as something that you're not able to understand? Because I have made sure that I have purposefully made notes where you can find Hindi translations also. Okay? Let's take another example. Now, if I use the vowel E, I just told you that all the vowels have two different sounds. It could be a long sound, it could be a short sound. Let's take example of two things. First, egg and tree. Both of them have the letter E. That means there will be a case that these sounds will be produced. However, when we say the word egg, it's a very short sound. Egg. Egg. When we talk about this another word which have E in it, it can be tree. Like tree, E. You can feel there's a stretch in the word. Like that sound have a bit longer duration of stay. Similarly, if you talk about ink and kite, both of these words have I in them, meaning however, why they are different, because their sounds are very different. When we talk about ink, it's very ink. When we talk about another word, for example, kite, it's "ite," kite. The I sounds are very different. In the first example, you can see it's a very short sound. Ink. The second word, it has a longer sound, meaning kite. Okay?
Ma'am,
Now,
ice cream. I mean, this is long sound. Ice cream.
sorry,
Ma'am, ice cream.
ice cream. Ice cream. Very nice. It's a long sound. And if we take let's take an example of in between. It's in between. It's not a long sound, it's a short sound. Why? Because the sound of the letter I is very small. It doesn't take a lot of time. If you talk about ice cream, ice, it has a bit of a longer stretch. Okay? Now, when we now we have certain words. For example, bit versus bite and hat versus hate. I want two students to raise a hand and tell me which word have which kind of vowel sound. Naz.
Yes, ma'am. Beat has a short vowels and bite has a long vowels. I.
Okay, and the second.
And head is a short vowels. Head or head is a no. HAT is a long vowels and head is a short vowels.
Okay, very nice. Is this correct? Let's take another example. Aaron, what would you like to answer to this? Which word have which kind of sound?
Mhm. Okay. As there is given example, bit, bit, bit has a short vowel, and bite has a long vowel. Similarly, there is a hat or hate. Hate. So hat is H-A-T. Hat is a small vowel sounds, and hate. It's a bit longer. Hate because there is e sound that's making it long. So it's hate, which is long vowel sound. I have a trick which I have learned. How can we identify whether it's a long vowel or short sound?
Okay.
As you can see, in the long vowel sounds, there is cake, tree, kite, rope, and flute. So there is a e that's called magic e. When you see, like, you can see cake. So in the last, there is a e sound which making a long sound. You can see all the vowels, all these long word has their e, like flute. If you remove that e, it's become flirt or flirt. Or if you remove this e from rope, it's become rock. So that e is magic e, and that's making these word long sounds.
Very good, Ryan. Yes, student, that is a trick. Okay, you can take an example of it. However, exceptions do exist. So you can go with this trick. However, still just still always focus on the sounds, okay? Let's revise and I'll read out these words for you so that I could know that you are able to pronounce. So A for apple, E for egg, I for ink, O for orange, U for umbrella, A for cake, E for tree, I for kite, O for rope, U for flute. It's not flirt, it's not fluid, it's flute. Okay? Let's go with the next slide, okay? Now, please, student, lower your hand. So our next slide is tricky sounds for Hindi speakers, okay? Because, of course, we just talked in the very starting that how a language, Hindi language is different from English language. Because there might be some sound which you are not able to find in the English language. For example, if we talk about V and W, okay? The van, so these are the tricks how to sound, how these sounds are made. If we have to make a sound for letter V, you have to say it like lower lip touches the teeth. So if you touch your lower lip to the top of your teeth, like V, it's van. Or another word starting from letter V, vanish, voyage. Can you see my pronunciation or can you see my lips flowing? Every time you have to make this sound, which sound for the letter V, your lower lip have to touch your top teeth. It's a way you can make this sound. Any word, for example, V. What is let's take an example, Vande Bharat. So if you have to pronounce the word V and you don't know how to pronounce this word, you know that you have, if in order to pronounce the V word, the sound the V word have, you just have to make sure your lower lips touches your top teeth. So Vande Bharat, Vande, van, voyage, vanish. Okay. When we talk about the word, the letter W, okay, so the W is lips around. W. So first you touch your lips. W. Washington. Wheels. Okay. So in order to pronounce these words, you have to use your lips around. Similarly, for Z versus J, let's take an example of the word which has Z. Okay, so this example, zoo. It's a buzzing sound. Zoo. It's a sound which is made by sometimes by B. So zoo. Then we have J for Jew. So it's a very soft sound. Jew. Zoo. Zoo is a buzzing sound. J is a soft sound. Jew. Okay. When we talk about TH sounds, it's like think, thought, or yeah. So the think when you are using the word th, how to pronounce that th sound? You have to just, so there will be two kind of sounds. One will be soft sound and another will be a hard sound. So think, for example, if we take a word like think, it's a very think, soft sound. That, it's a hard sound. That, or, and if we talk about another thought, it's a hard sound. Are you able to understand all this?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's move on to the blending sound. And this is when we comes to a part where we just blend the sound. For example, we just add all the sounds of each letter in a word so that we could pronounce that word. Okay. For example, cat. For example, cat. Cat have 3 letters, C, A, and T. Every letter have a different sound. For example, C-A-T, so it's cat. Now here you can see the vowel A. Okay, can anyone please unmute yourself and tell me what sound the vowel A is making? Is it a short sound? Is it a long sound?
Short sound, ma'am.
Sorry?
Short sound. Short
Okay.
sound.
Okay, let's take another one. Aaron,
Yeah, all of these words making short sound.
R.
All of these words are making short sounds.
Okay, short sound. Okay.
Yeah.
Sibha. Okay, Sibha is not with us. Exactly. Okay. It was written also in the slide that each letter have a slower then faster together. Okay. If you think, every letter in these words have a very slower sound. However, when you blend all these sounds, you have to make it a little faster. Okay. Next slide is common mistakes and fixes. For example, okay, so the very important phase of phonics is also how you pronounce, how you move your lips, how you move your tongue, and how you move your teeth. You only need 3 main things in order to pronounce anything: your teeth, your lips, and your tongue. Every word is just fumbled around these things with these 3 things. So, for example, water. You might have said elder people saying water. It's not water, it's water. And why there is this pronunciation thing? Because in Hindi, you're not able to find sounds of V. V is automatically shifted to Va. Because in Hindi, we have the sound of Va, but we don't have the sound of V. Okay? So water, it's not zebra, it's zebra. Zebra. See, buzzing sound. Okay? Sink. Sink is a sink. It's a soft sound. Think. Think is a longer sound. Hard sound. Think. Okay? Now, I want anyone to read these words for me.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? And you will be telling me how these words sounds are different. And if they have a short sound, if they have a longer sound. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, Deepti, you go.
Yeah. Yeah. This one. Cat, pat, mat, chip, van, fan. This is also short sound, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah. Think, that, this. This is hard sounds.
Okay.
PH
And
sounds. Yes.
can you please tell me why it's zip and not jip?
Yeah, Jeep. Jeep is also Z, but Jeep is J. J. Hindi word is J.
Hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
But
And in
yeah,
English, the letter Z have a buzzing sound, which is
buzzing sound. Ma'am, like Sham, इसको क्या बोलते हैं? What's the means? Silent
yeah.
sounds.
We will be discussing about those
Z is
silent
silent.
words on
Okay.
Monday. Okay.
Yes, yes.
However, whatever example we are taking today, all of these sounds have all of these letters have sounds. Okay.
Yes.
And can you please tell me the word, the sound, the word thin and that, which is a harder sound, which is a softer sound?
Harder sound, ma'am.
Yes.
Thin, that, this. Yes.
Think is a soft or a hard sound?
Think is also a hard sound.
No, think is a soft sound. That is a hard sound.
Okay, okay, yes. Tha,
You can
okay.
you can actually see the difference between how you pronounce both those words. Think, that. Think is a soft. Think, that. You have to open your mouth in order to say it. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Let's go with Naz.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you please pronounce these words and explain me which word have which kind of sound?
Yes. Cat, bat, mat, zip, van, fan, thin, that, this, thin and that. Thin is a soft and that is a harder one. And cat, bat, mat. In that A is a used like shorted vowels. And even zip, van, and fan. In these also.
And this is a soft or a harder sound?
Which one, ma'am?
This
Zip,
word.
van, and fan.
No, the word this, THIS, what kind of sound
Yes.
does the TH have in it?
I think this is the soft, ma'am. This.
Fabulous. Very nice.
Yeah.
It's a soft sound, okay?
Okay,
And
ma'am.
let's have another person.
Tin, that, tin.
Sorry, Deepika.
Tin, that, tit.
Thin, that, this.
That, tit.
Not dish, it's this.
Tit, tit.
Okay. Please mute yourself, everyone. I would love to. Sibha Prasad, Polumi, Sonia, are you here with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Polumi, can
ma'am.
okay. Polumi, can you please pronounce these words and tell me which word have which kind of sound?
Okay, ma'am. First is cat, bat, mat, jeep, van, and fan. It is a soft sound, and this thin, that and this. Thin and this is it a soft sound, and then is a more harder. Ma'am?
Very nice. Okay. Let's go with the next slide, which is the basic the word of the day. Okay. So I want Sonia, can you please read this slide for me?
Yes, ma'am. Word of the day. Basic word. Dog. A pet.
Sonia, we just explained how it's not word, it's wo.
Word.
Word.
Word. Word of the day. Okay.
Yes.
Am I right, ma'am?
Yes.
Basic word. Dog. A pet. That barks. एक
Hmm.
पालतू जानवर जो भौंकता है. Complex word. Beautiful. Something that look very nice. Beautiful कोई चीज जो बहुत सुंदर दिखती है.
Mm-hmm.
Sentence. The dog is beautiful.
Very nice. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now let me just get over to this slide. The word of the day is the basic word is dog, which is a pet that barks. Okay. And the complex word is beautiful, which is something that looks very nice. Okay. So I have a pet. I have a pet dog. And a complex word example could be my dog is beautiful, or my dog is Labrador, or anything, right? Now I want, because we have at least 5 to 6 minutes with us, I want everyone to raise their hand and explain me each and every slide, okay? Please, student, please raise your hand. Simran, can you please explain me this slide?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, speak something.
No, you have to explain the slide for me.
X. Please. English has some sounds that are used in Hindi. Ma'am, other word here, ma'am, same.
See, wait, is it me, or is her sound is actually lacking? Like her sound, I guess, Simran, your network is not nice. Student, please make sure it is nice. Sonia, would you like to explain the slide for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah. English has some sound that are not used in Hindi. Hindi speakers may find sounds like V. V means va, Z, ja, and th difficult. Example: Jew is often said like Jew. When is often said like when.
Very nice. And these both these example are not.
Uh,
These example are
when,
correct or incorrect?
yes, ma'am, correct.
These are
Because
correct.
we मतलब va,
No,
when.
Sonia, see, the example says that the word zoo is often said like zoo. मतलब zoo को zoo ही कहना होता है, लेकिन वो zoo की तरह pronounce किया जाता है. तो क्या सही है?
Yes, ma'am, Jew.
No, it's incorrect. The word zoo is zoo because in English the Z has a sound. However, in Hindi the Z doesn't have a sound, and the sound which is similar to this word Z is Jew. That's why people call
That's
it not
zoo.
okay.
Okay. Okay, ma'am.
Now
Then
is the second example correct?
When. When is often said like when.
It's
Yes,
one.
ma'am. One.
Huh.
Okay, yes, one.
No, it is also not correct. See, the
This is
statement.
not second number, no correct. No, ma'am.
Yes,
No
both of these examples are not correct because they are saying how van is supposed to be said as van. However,
Yes.
in Hindi, okay. Are you all able to see me?
Yeah.
Okay. However, in van, the word van is supposed to be said as van and not van. Okay. Can you all understand this?
Yes, ma'am. Can I make more simplify?
Yes, sure.
Okay. So I think there is a problem between the sounds difference. In Hindi, we say ja. We have ja sound, which is ja. We say ju. But in English, we have different sounds. Like Jad has a sound which is called z. There is a vibration in that sound. Jad has a sound which is z. That's why we pronounce this zoo, zoo. There is a in the vocal cord we have vibration. We feel vibration. In the same way, the letter V has the similar vibration sound, which is van. We pronounce it like this, van, van. Our lips and teeth goes together to make these sounds. We pronounce it like this, van. There is a small vibration between this. So that's why it's different from W sound. W sound, it's like this. Uh, we say one or van. There is van. So it has no any vibration. But when we pronounce van, our teeth goes to the on the I mean on the top of lips. It goes on the bottom lips, and it makes a little bit vibration there. So these two sound has vibration. That's why it's different from Hindi.
Very nice. Thank you, Aaron. That he actually said it very nicely that both of these sentences that you're seeing in this example are wrong. It is saying that the original word zoo is not said as zoo in Hindi. It is pronounced as Jew by Hindi speakers. Similarly, the word van, which is an English word, is not sounded like van in Hindi. It's because the similar sound, which is exactly similar to the word we, is van. It's van. Okay.
Ma'am, can you more examples? Some more examples like Jew or van?
Okay. For example, if we want to take an example, which is Z,
Yeah.
zebra. People also say
Yes.
zebra.
Yes.
It's not zebra.
Hmm.
It's zebra because in Hindi there is no sound which is of like there is no Z sound. There is no word exists such as Z. In English, a letter Z exists.
Hmm.
Okay, and that's
Okay.
why it's called as zebra, not zebra.
Okay.
Similarly, if we take example of van, let's
Hmm.
take an example of a different word which is starting from this letter, vanish. Everybody knows vanish, gayab ho jana,
Yes. Yes.
right?
Yes.
So vanish is vanish. People can also say it like vanish. It's not vanish, it's vanish. Now, only because in Hindi language we don't have sounds for these letters, it doesn't mean that we will pronounce something else. Okay?
Ma'am, Z words is giraffe, not giraffe.
Zebra is giraffe. Zebra is giraffe? No, no, no. Zebra is zebra.
No,
Giraffe
ma'am,
is giraffe.
Z word is Z letter is giraffe.
No, no, no. Giraffe is giraffe. The animal which have a longer neck. Zebra, on the other
Ma'am,
hand, is an
G
animal
for
who have black
giraffe
and white
means
strip.
ma'am, G for giraffe, na, ma'am.
G for
G.
giraffe, not Z for giraffe.
Yes. Ma'am.
The zebra is an animal who have black and white strips.
In English, we have 26 letter, but we have 44 sounds in English.
Yes. Okay.
That's
That's
why
why
confusion comes.
that's the reason the confusion comes. Also, Hindi is a bit difficult when you see it. Okay. Hindi is actually difficult to understand and learn as a new language to anybody. Okay. So I hope everybody understood this. Okay, we will also take another class for the phonics on Monday because yes, we will also take another class on the Monday because a lot of other sounds are also left, especially the words which are silent and which have a longer stretch of sounds. And with this, is there anyone who have any question for me?
Oh, yes, ma'am, I have.
Yes, Arun?
Oh, ma'am, would you tell me that how was your English journey? Like, do you come from English medium background or
Oh, okay. So my journey with English was, um, I would say, okay. Okay, that's a very personal question to me.
yeah?
Okay, so both of my parents are educated. My mom is a lawyer. My dad is in the sales and marketing thing. And, back in those time, English was not a prominent thing. Okay, I have listened stories where my mother have told me that English was such a huge thing at her place, which was not allowed to, be taught to girl childs. So she have come from a place where English was a privilege to them. On the other hand, to me, because my parents were not very well established in the English language, I was always in a situation where they have put me into English classes. So I was actually put into a English grammar class straight after my fourth standard. Until 10th, I was in an English grammar class. I don't know why, but I always used to be in those classes. So with for journey, I would say that you know you students have not even moved to the in grammar part, but I have seen myself struggling with direct indirect speeches, synonyms, antonyms, and simple words like writing letters, application. It's so much difficult, but I think over the time it's all about practice, and it's also about continuity with those things. I have made a continuous effort to learn those things. I have seen my classmates and my fellows where English was something that you didn't have to put a lot of effort into it, and it's just a quick easy subject for everyone. It is, let's just say, it is for everyone, but it also depends upon the individual, the kind of effort he or she is making into that language. Any language on this earth, be it Italian, be it French, be it, I have I have also studied French, and I know how much languages and how much
Please end the meeting. You don't know how to teach English.
sorry.
Who was that?
Your father. You don't.
Vishal, I hope you are okay.
Oh, yes.
Okay, whatever it is. Yes, like I was saying that it is a continuous effort, students. Okay, you have to make efforts in order to learn English. Be it English, be it any language on this earth, you have to put in efforts to learn English and other languages. Okay, so that was my
Hello.
journey. It's
So,
I won't say it's very hard and rusty and very like full of tears and nothing, but it is something a continuous effort.
so initially, like in the beginning, you were made to learn English because of your parents got to know it's a huge thing for them, and it
Yeah.
could be
Mhm.
beneficial for you.
Yes, of course, but I think see, because I have seen because their parenting was in a state where English was a privilege to them, they have worked hard so that English to their children is not a privilege. It's a basic right.
Mhm.
You Are you understanding this?
Yeah.
That is the reason they put me into tuitions from the very beginning, because they lack those skills in teaching me. So they were what the best a parent can do. They can earn and they can put
Mhm.
you into tuitions. So that was the regular thing that my parents did, and you have to make an effort in order to learn any language on this earth.
Okay. One more question, if you don't
Yeah.
mind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why do we struggle? We can understand English while watching movies or while listening
Mm-hmm.
you. Even I can understand all of
Mm-hmm.
these things. So why people cannot speak, uh, whereas they can understand everything,
Hello.
whether
Okay.
it's a podcast, or English movie, or
Mm-hmm.
anything.
Hello.
But apart from that, they are not able to convey their thoughts or whatever he feels. So why is it like that?
See, Aaron, the very basic thing that I have
Mm,
discovered
mm,
is that people who can understand English from all these movies, reels,
mhm,
Instagram, YouTube, everything,
mm,
but still lacks with the language in terms of communication is
mm,
merely because of the practice. You are in an environment where you are in a constant effort to listen to English, which of course helps you. However, you're not making any efforts to pronounce and use it in your daily life. The
okay.
moment you will be put into an environment now, be it forced or be it a normal thing for you where you have to use English, it will be easy for you, and that gap will be filled.
Okay.
Okay, so the listening part of course helps. I won't say it doesn't help.
Mm,
I would say the whole lockdown helped me with the American and the British English part, because I've watched a lot of movies, a lot of shows. However,
mm,
the
mm,
communication lacks only because I never had the practice to use those words, use those American slangs in my daily life. Because like with whom you will be you are supposed to have a
Yeah.
conversation with them.
Yeah.
So it's a struggle, but something I do is, I do this very weird thing. I don't recommend it to everyone because sometimes I just feel it's a psychotic problem or a difficult problem. Every time I have something very difficult for me, for example, something is going on in my life and I have this huge thing which is stressing me out. So what I do, I tell myself. So I talk to my own self, but I talk to my own self in English.
Okay.
So yeah, I do sometime that, and I feel that is also, which have helped me in order to ace this language.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, you have to just produce the sound, and your mouth movements should be habitual of it. You have to be used to it in order
Yes,
to speak. Yeah. Okay.
of
And
of course.
thanks a million for sharing this. Actually, I love to know the experience of others, and I get to learn a lot of things. And I think I was struggling with my pronunciation, which I have improved a lot by learning, I think, pronunciation, the sounds of vowel sound.